Thank you for the follows. Let's just make sure everything is good to go. The TEC mod team is working hard at work sorting this out. Oh, everything is always on those guys. Those guys need more appreciation, as always. 30 seconds until the first one is going forward. Now, if you don't know about this tournament, it is a gladiator-style tournament, basically meaning that we are using the War Thunder Gladiator rules from the tournaments that War Thunder run themselves. On top of it, what we are also doing is giving away some GE. So the first place gets 2,500, second gets a wonderful 500, and third gets a wonderful 500. And I thought, to spice a few things up, why not throw in maybe a giveaway during this for what I deem, or what the mods deem, as the funnest player to watch, or something like that. I always think that is a great idea. Are you kidding me? They didn't tell me that the match has started, so we're going in and we're going in raw. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first match between Mills and Lukey. Hopefully it hasn't started. If it has started, well, we may have missed it. But it looks alright. It looks like we're in. As you can see, we've got a decent amount of referees. These are all mods, and then there's me. If you don't know, Matrix is also streaming. Send him over. Get a follow on him, because he is very close to being able to get his partnership. So let's see. Mills going with the classic BF-109. Very nice camouflage on it. And then, of course, we have Lukey, part of the KSSR squadron. So this is basically XOF versus KSSR, Russian versus American, using German planes. What an odd scenario we have found ourselves in. So what we see is Lukey has gone for the winter skin with a Croatian flag on it, I suppose, and then Mills just going for a nice, more standard skin. So it's best 2 out of 3, and the way that you do that is by shooting down the opponents. If you don't know about gladiator rules, basically what it is over time you have a time limit, I suppose you would say, before you can fire your guns, and by the time you fire your guns, then you can open up, and it's whoever is able to get 2 kills before the other one. That's basically it. So as you can see, Lukey is not in a great position. Decided to take the high altitude route, setting himself up to try and be able to get onto Mills's back. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked like that. Mills is using some flap control, losing some speed, and Lukey is slowly but surely trying to get behind him. Basically what you have to do in Lukey's position right now is to try and bleed as much speed from Mills as possible, try and get away from him, and then from that point... Ooh, he's knocked his flaps off though. There's a chance. Oh, he's knocked both his flaps off. Oh, there's a chance here for Lukey if he can turn it around. He has taken minor damage. What he has to do... Oh, wait. Can Mills finish him? Oh, he's knocked off the tail. Unlucky Lukey. Lukey had a chance there. If he decided to cut his engine and dodge those first few little shots, then what could have happened is Mills could have overshot and Lukey could have barreled into him with these 320s. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and Mills is victorious. So that's 1-0 to the Americans against the Soviets. Clearly a Dutch roundel, it might be. Well, I don't know. I am very tired. And I suppose my European heritage is way away from me. Are you sure it's Dutch? Oh, it's Czech. Of course it's Czech. My God. I was close enough. It's one of those Eastern European countries. They're all the same to me. That may be offensive, but it is how it is. So, Mills is spawned back in, waiting for Lukey to come. And it looks like Lukey has decided not to come in. What has happened here then? Has he just given up? Or has he decided that he doesn't want to fight? Who knows? But that seems to be the first match over. Unfortunately, Lukey has been taken out. And that means that Mills progresses onto the next round. Or at least that's what it seems to be. Remember, it's round of 16. This is a custom tournament, not a TSS one. So let's change back to this screen, and let's show the next round. So we'll put on the music for you. Maybe a little bit less of the crazy metal. There we go. And the next round that we have for you is an interesting one. I can just do this. Oh wait, let's get rid of that. And make sure to set this up. Remember, I am doing all of this on the fly, so it can be a little bit confusing. Let's get the round of 16. So this is the next matchup. We have Ginger versus Farid, 6-5-5-6. I wonder if the numbers will come into his favor and do something useful. Remember, these are all RP pilots. Yeah, basically gun pods. It is kind of a weird situation, unless... Alright, what's going on here? Let's find out what's going on while we wait. Whoever that was, thank you for the follow. Thomas McCloudy, big man Tom, thank you. Let's actually catch up on the follows. We had a few more while the match was going, I believe. Right, so we had Lucky and then Thomas, thank you. Let's just go back to the editor. If you've never used it, Streamlabs is a really cool thing to use. It seems that Streamlabs OBS, they've kind of like mixed them together. This is your first tournament, Vess? Fair enough. The last one we ran was definitely very crazy. I'm just confirming what happened with our standings. For some reason we are going back in. I think it's because they didn't complete the second round, maybe because it seems like Lukey got kicked from the battle. So I don't know how that happened, I don't know why that happened, but it seems like we have a situation. I'm so confused. For God's sake. The delay is 30 seconds. I decided that a delay wasn't really useful for this. God's sake. Right, anyway, we're back into the battle. I don't know if this the other bid is just cancelled out because Lukey got kicked from it, but we are back in. Let's see, Mills has still got the same skin on, no gun pods. Lukey running with said gun pods. Let's see if he can make them work for his advantage. Basically what he has to do is set himself up in a position where he is behind Mills to annihilate him. The problem with that is it's quite hard to set himself up in that position with the gun pods on, but not impossible. Let's have a look at the player view. What is he looking at? Oh, he's looking at Mills, and Mills has already got the elevator working in his favor. Lukey trying his best to work out what's going on, but he is bringing in a lot of speed here, using his elevator hard to try and turn up, not looking at the targets, but that's okay. It seems like he's using some keyboard controls in this position, and Mills, being the hunter that he is, not worried about his wisdom teeth removal, coming in and hitting Lukey. He hasn't actually hit him yet. He's tried, but he hasn't. And what I need to do is stop that. Now, I said before that he hadn't hit Lukey. It seems like all it took was one hit and Lukey was gone. So that is, I believe, 1-0 to Mills. And if that is the case, we're sat in a position where we have one more match between Lukey and Mills for the best 2 of 3. I'm guessing we just wiped off the other one just because there was literally... You know, it was not Lukey's fault that what happened to him. I'm guessing that is what's going on. Yeah, it seems it. So once again, Lukey using the winter camouflage with the decals all over the place, showing a bit of personal flair, where Mills is much more down to earth, much more standardized, going for the wavy lines. But here we go. Setting up for the second battle, as I said before, it is the Gladiator rules that we are running on right now. And we'll switch to player cam. Let's see what Mills is looking at. He is focused on the target, not worrying about anything else that's going on. And as you can see, Lukey is going straight towards him. Mills gaining some speed by putting his nose down a little bit. And up he comes, straight into him. Lukey is going straight though. Let's see what happens. Oop, they're both looping. Mills should have the loop advantage though because of those lack of gun pods. What's happening is Lukey is set himself up in a position. I believe he had to dive there because he's not going to be able to flop around quick enough on Mills if these two are both fully upgraded. Look at that. Lukey couldn't make the second elevator turn and Mills has annihilated him. Wings are off. Everything's off, poor Lukey. And let's just see. We can't even see Lukey because nothing has survived. Has even the pilot survived? It doesn't look like it. Total annihilation by Mills. That's a 2-0 victory. It's best 2 of 3, but Lukey in the last match, after it was 1-0 to Mills, unfortunately disconnected. So that is why we replayed it. So I believe, anyway, that's why they replayed it. So yeah. Right, back to the starter screens. Let's see what the next match is. The next match, as I was talking about before, is Ginger versus Fared 6556. Two interesting members of the Discord. Not too vocal on it, but it is still nice to see competitors. Hey,
Canadian.
Hey, baby.
What's your delay time on your stream?
30 seconds.
Okay. I'm gonna switch mine to 30 seconds too.
Alright. But basically, yep, it seems like we are setting up for the second match. Mills is through to the next round. And what I'll do is that means I will sort this out. So, Mills... Oh, no. I cocked up, I think. No, it's alright. I didn't cock up. It's all good. I'm just right now doing a lot of stuff on the fly. But that's okay. Sometimes you gotta do that when you're running these tournaments. Alright, bracket. Yeah, that's good. So, Mills 1. There we go. Okay. Right, so that's the first match to Mills. Wonderful stuff. And let's see what's going on. We're still waiting for the next two members. The next two members, of course, being Ginger and the wonderful compatriot Fared. Fared is in the Twitch chat. How do you feel of your chances, Fared? Tootsie squadron battles? Everybody's doing squadron battles. It seems like it's a scene that I should be a little bit more involved in, but I don't know. With everything else going on, it's very hard to do so. Right, let's make sure I'm ready so I don't get left behind like last time. Oh boy. But yeah, how do you like this new setup, by the way? Like the do you like how we've added a bit of red to it, given it a bit of color? How about where the chat is and you know the other stuff? I think overall it looks better than it was percent. 100%? Are you ready? 100%? Oh dear, that's worrying. So Fared is in the match. We're just waiting for the other, which shouldn't be taking too long, hopefully. Oh, okay. Yeah, so an executive decision was made with the Lukey thing. Lukey basically lagged out, so Dog, who is basically the main mod who's running this, said we're going to do 2 more rounds. So that's what we did there, and therefore that's what happened, you know. It was really nice of Lukey to actually come in, because Lukey was a last-minute replacement for somebody. And I'm always gracious to those guys for filling in when required. You know, it's not easy sitting on the reserve bench hoping that you get in. But when you do get in, you've got to show, you know, the opportunity and have fun. And that seemed to be what Lukey was doing. He was having a bit of fun. And as I said before, Matrix is... Oh yeah, the chat has a mega delay. But the Matrix is streaming as well, but he's doing slightly different stuff to me, and it looks like we're going straight into the battle. So transitioning, as I said, it's the Ginger Ninja versus the wonderful Farad. I can't really make the flippin' Farad. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is the round of 16 for the TEC Tournament War of the Skies, second match. And what we see before us is something that I forgot to do again, which is turn off the music. Holy. Anyway, it is turned off now. You'll have my wonderful soothing voice, and hopefully the 2 guys. And one of the nice things about having a new processor is the fact that you load in before everybody else. The issue with it is you load in before everybody else. Looks like the Ginger Marquis, or as we know him, the Ginger Ninja, is moving forward. Team tourneys in the future, you betcha. We had a team tourney last month, which was the 75 Jumbos against each other. Very fun. I'm thinking maybe next time when we do a tank one, what about something like, well, I don't know. What about something such as the Churchill Mark 1, something like that. But anyway, Farad sporting a different skin. This is one of the skins which is actually really nice. This is the one I personally use on the F4, and it looks like both sets of compatriots have decided to go without the gun pods, which is an idea. Farad gaining a lot of speed, hitting 630 IAS, and here comes Ginger right on the back of him. Flipping over is Farad. Straight on Ginger, who was overshot, but there was no shots to be available there. So now, can Ginger turn on Farad? It looks like, oh, he's trying to flip up his elevator to get a little bit more control, but unfortunately he made his airframe do something I'm sure it wasn't supposed to do. Right now, webbing fully, which is interesting. No use of flaps, or at least not on my end. Remember, sometimes me seeing it can be slightly different to what they're actually using. 300 kilometers an hour right now. Ginger's still not in the best position, but he is diving, trying to set himself up so he can get on the back of Farad. It seems like Ginger has a bit more speed right now. No, he's actually got less, but he's gaining more by going down. Farad is still trying to set up for that kill, but cannot get guns on target. This is much, much more interesting than what was going on before. Farad tries to get guns on targets and unfortunately misses slightly. Later shot at Ginger. Oh my days! What has gone on there? Farad and the Ginger Ninja have annihilated each other. Oh dear. The first crash. So I believe how that works. It is just a 0-0. You know, start again. Let's redo. But that's the first crash of the day. And it shows how equal these two are with each other. Always fun. Always interesting. Whoever wins this match goes through to the quarterfinals to face Mills, who won the last match. Let's see what goes on. Farad looked like he had the upper hand in the first parts, but of course Ginger coming back, creating that situation where they had to crash into each other. It was definitely something which was much more a battle of inches than anything else. Let's go on to player cam and see what Farad does this time. So he's gaining speed, going down. 500, 600 is what he's at. 620, 630, he's going faster this time, trying to hit 660. Maybe he's trying to psych out Ginger. Ginger goes over the top, obviously with less speed. Let's see what happens. He looks around, sees Ginger. He's hunting. Oh, Ginger has the turn on him though this time, But unfortunately, it seems like the guns were not unlocked. This is not a good position for Farad. What's he going to be able to do? Ginger has to be able to hit the shot, but is he going to overshoot now? Farad can maybe get a shot. No! Ginger's turning. Oh! It's a destruction from the Ginger Menace. Annihilated. Unfortunately, Farad had a bit too much speed going into that first turn, and that basically meant that he wasn't able to follow the Ginger Marquis with that, and with that turn that he was able to do at the start, meaning that he was basically screwed from the beginning, or he had to make Ginger overshoot, and he definitely wasn't going to do that. An interesting first battle. Tournament sign-up is going a bit crazy. Never mind. We are in the second part of this epic fight between the Ginger Marquis and Farad 6556. Let's see if Farad can equal the score, or Ginger will go through to face Mills the Mammoth. You never know. We'll have to see. It seems like the 20mm buffs have also graced this tournament realm, where basically all you have to do is touch enemy targets and everything falls off the BF-109. That 20mm doing work. Looks like they're both diving at a decent angle. And also you can do this feature, which is nice. You know, you can show the x-rays. Farad is really gaining a lot of speed, but will Ginger be able to do what he did last time? Gets the turn on Farad. Ooh, it looks like he might. Farad is just going way too fast here. I understand that speed is important, but when you are the master of speed, sometimes you are not the master of turn. And what Farad is finding out here is that Ginger has worked out that if you go 20 to 30 kilometers slower than him in a slightly less decline, you can get the turn on him. So we are now more down to normal speeds. Ginger is in a slightly better position, but because of that miss and the late turn, because they tried to set up for the hit, Farad might be in a slightly better position. But it's getting to a point where it's pretty close now, but Ginger still has the position. Has he hit Farad? Yes, he has. Minimal damage to the elevator, very small damage, but some control service damage there, which may really hurt this BF-109, especially in a one-on-one scenario. What I would do here is extend, try and get some altitude, turn, and make sure that you could get away. But unfortunately, Farad has been taken down by the Ginger Marquis, who goes through to face Mills, the wonderful and one and only XOF Mills. Got to have some celebration there with the guns and of course the smoke. By the way, if people want to use smoke, they can, and yeah, you can use it if you feel like it. You can do anything like that. If you want to show your flair, if you want to put on specific decals, you know you can do. So that was the second match, meaning that Ginger goes through, and unfortunately Farad has lost. Let's just make sure to set that up properly. There we go. So Ginger goes on to face Mills. The next one is Jaden versus Nova Prime. Nova, a very vocal member of the Discord, which is wonderful to see. It's always nice to get a lot of interaction on the Discord, not just during tournament times, but also during other events. And Nova is always very vocal on what is going on, which is great. And at the same time, Jaden, I believe is his name. I might be getting it wrong. So, with that said, isn't as vocal. So, from a personal point of view, I'm definitely rooting for Nova. But you can't always keep your biases in with this stuff. Hopefully, we see a really good match like we did last time. Yep, it's Nova and Jaden. It's the battle of the two. I don't know what you would call them. I'm not even gonna comment. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna say anything. Oh my god. But anyway, so far, pilots. Unlucky Farad. Next time. And as we do more of these tournaments, just remember everyone, we will be expanding, the ideas of the tournaments. We had our first tank one last month. We have our first plane one this month. And so far, I'm incredibly surprised at how well they've run. So hopefully in the future, what we're going to do is do at least one tournament a month, just like this one, for different vehicles, and try and get more and more people involved, and try and get to a point where we just involve you guys more. Because gaming communities are all about the community aspect. They're not about, individuals, being incredibly by themselves or whatever. So have a nice night, Farid. Thank you for taking part. Hopefully next time the luck is on your side. But anyway, what I was saying before is there has to be a community element to all of this, and that is why we have the Discord, we have the giveaways, we have the tournaments. It's all to give back to you guys for putting the mods and me in the position that we're in to be able to help you. And well, not help, but thank you for contributing to the community as a whole. So let's see what's going on here. Looks like Nova is ready. And now we are waiting for something. I tell you what, I'm gonna go check. So I'm back. It seems like there's been a change of plans. And as there always seems to be with these things, unfortunately Jaden has not been able to show up. So instead, one of our main moderators has stepped up to the plate at the last minute, and hopefully he can showcase some of his skills. Lobster did want to take part beforehand anyway, but it's still, wait, am I showing the right thing? Yeah, I am. But it is nice of him to step in when required. Unfortunately, with these tournaments, when people sign up much more earlier on, they sometimes get other commitments and don't show up, and it is incredibly annoying. But from a content point of view, we'll make sure that you still have exactly what you want. You have the matches, and you have everything that you need. Nope, I didn't want to do that. Right, let's try this again. Sorry, I'm just creating another thumbnail. No, I'm not, because we're in the bloody match. Alright then. Seems like we're going a little bit quicker than required, but that's completely fine. And as I said, this is Lobster versus Nova Prime. Nova Prime, a very vocal member of the community, always lovely to have the vocal members. I'm very happy for all of you being here. And also Lobster, one of the head mods. He's part of the band of Scrubs. Some people hate them, some people love them, and it is how it is. But he was, or used to be, part of XOF, and now he's moved on to the band of Scrubs, and now is much more focused on taking battles in stuff like squadron battles. So there you go. Nova is sporting a lovely camouflage of the BF-109F. What is lovely about the BF-109F is it does have a variety of camouflages that you can take, and let's see what goes on. So, smoke is on Lobster. He's trying to intimidate the enemy. Always a good plan. It's one of my moves that I do. It looks like they're going straight head on. I wonder if they'll just crash right in front of each other. Nova is trying to do a bit of a swiggy. Lobster has gone straight past him and up. Oh, he's not sure. Is he going to go slightly to the left, or is he going to go straight up? It looks like he's going straight up and around. And here comes Nova, setting up for the hit. And oh my... Well, it's not a good start, is it? Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, let's see if the second round can be slightly better than before. Because obviously that was, well, we'll say interesting. I think is definitely the word to use there. And also, something I do have to do is change something else. But I will do that after the battle. Right now, let's just focus on if Lobster or Nova can come up on top. It was quite a close battle last time. We did follow Lobster, so it's time to have a look at Nova with his slightly different skin. It looks like he does like the orange, the tinge, and I don't blame him. I personally really like it. I'm much more partial to stuff like desert camos than forest camos. I think they look a lot nicer. You got a hole in your left wing? No, you got a BF-109 in your left wing. Cutting it off straight, sheared. Lobsterman, 34. They're setting up to pass. Let's see what will happen. Will they go for the same tactic? It looks like Nova has decided to flip out to the left, and he's going straight up. Lobster going for a much more horizontal turn, and this may catch Nova off guard, and it looks like it has. The horizontal turn can be quicker than the elevator, and good night, Nova. That was some great mind games from Lobster. Instead of going for the elevator, going for much more use of the ailerons and the elevator, creating a horizontal instead of a vertical, and just catching Nova off guard. Luckily, the pilot got away, though. That's the main thing. And Band of Scrubs Lobster goes up 1-0. Let's see if he can complete the victory over Nova, or if he's going to be sat in a position where he's going to let the moderators of the TEC hub down. A lot of us have been told many times that we are not good players, we are scrubs. Well, why not get a man from the Band of Scrubs to represent us, to prove to you that we, sir, are not scrubs. But that is a definite oof. Nova is down for the count. Hopefully he can be revitalized. Maybe he'll throw in a horizontal turn instead of a vertical. Maybe he'll go for a diagonal. Who knows? Combat flaps. And then, of course, landing flaps. I haven't seen many landing flaps deployed yet. Only some combat flaps, especially with Mills ripping them off. Remember, if you do actually rip them off, you are lighter. So it could help you out in some scenarios, but not many. But anyway, here comes Nova Prime 64. Setting up much more higher in altitude. It looks like these guys are not going for the gain a lot of speed. Nova has gone to the right side of Lobster again. Lobster is flicking on him. Instead of going as horizontal, much more vertical this time. And now we are in much more of a dogfight. This is all a test of who is going to overshoot, who's going to be able to use their flaps perfectly. And it looks like so far it's quite close. Oh, that was Lobster's chance. But now he's cut his engine. This means that Nova is in prime position to kill him. Luckily, the BF-109 starts up incredibly quickly. So you don't really have to worry about it too much. Nova's not in a good position, but Lobster can't get hits on. It's so close, but he should have him this time. All he has to do is cut his engine. He hasn't cut it. He's weapon. Come on, lad. And now Nova has made him overshoot. This is Nova's chance to take it. Let's see where Nova is. Can he get on the back of Lobster, or can Lobster extend with some clever use of combat and landing flaps? It looks like Nova's trying to drag him out, trying to turn him. Eventually Lobster will slowly outturn him, but it will take time. What Nova has to do is he has to go up and then down again, or he can just keep turning and hope that the ground doesn't run into him first. It's very, very tight, and as you can see how close he is to the ground here. Flippin' heck. Use that elevator, son. You know you can. Come on. I'm just waiting for him to pop the shot. Lobster is slowly but surely trying to work it around, and Nova has pulled off slightly. Lobster now has the landing flaps out. This is showing desperation at this stage because he's so close to the ground, but he still should be able to keep this up at a relatively decent nick. Nova is sat in a position where all he has to do is loop up a little bit and he will be completely fine, but he's not doing that. Instead, he's trying to force Lobster into the ground, and Lobster is definitely trying to force himself into the ground. Nova Is he using combat flaps? Or is he using landing flaps? Nope, he's just using no flaps. No, he's using either takeoff or combat flaps. No use of landing flaps here. So he's always going to be able to go faster than Lobster. Oh, landing flaps are deployed. Look how close he's getting. Oh, it's a close one. Here we go. Let's see if he can set this up perfectly. He's not weaping, which is kind of interesting. No target has taken any damage, so right now it's just a battle of who can basically get the speeds right. As you can see, Nova is cutting his speed, increasing it on the turn to try and make it so he can push his nose in front of Lobster. I've no idea what Lobster is doing at this point. Probably exactly the same thing to try and make sure that Nova can't hit him. Oh, a bit of a wobble there with the plane of the BF-109. Always got to worry about that with this thing. I've never liked the rudder on the F4 at all, but Nova's in a position where, can he get him? It's so close. Oh, Lobster's actually taking him up. This could work. This is perfect. He's going to drop on him. What is Nova going to do? This is Lobster's chance. All he has to do is get those landing flaps down. It's going to be close again. Oh no, it's not quick enough. Lobster is so close to be able to take this, but Nova is still in the commanding seat, and it looks like he may have got a hit there, meaning that Lobster is probably going to go down. Lobster had the opportunity there, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. But what's Nova doing? Nova! He's mystery shots. He's mystery flybys. Now Lobster's in the prime position after cutting his engine. Oh no! The tides have turned, and are we going to have another battle of attrition going round at about 50 meters altitude, or is Lobster going to finish it? It looks like he finishes it. Good night, goodbye, sir. That is a 2-0 to Lobster and a well-fought victory. Impressive to the end. But I feel like that was Nova's for the taking, and unfortunately, he did not take it. He was not able to finish off what he started, and instead, what happened is he got found out. So Lobster Man, the man, the myth, the legend of the TEC moderators, is through to the next round, which means that unfortunately Nova has to go home empty-handed. Hopefully what will happen next time is he will participate again and be able to do well. So what we're going to do is go back to this, and then back to this, and change the image. So, who is up next? Up next is the wonderful Rocker versus Ace Invader. I hope Rocker is ready. Ace is known around these parts as a very good pilot. He's already in the server, ready as can be, and Rocker is seen as a man of many words and many tales and many song choices. So that is always good. But we'll have to see. This is for a place in the quarterfinals. And right now they will be facing Lobster Man, who is sat there by himself after taking out Nova Prime. We may see what's going on. Yes, it's Rocker, and then of course, as I said, Ace. Ace Invader and Rocker are ready in the room. A lot quicker than the last one, which is always lovely to see. Paralympic gladiators? How dare you, sir? This is the quality competition here. Sometimes you gotta have a bunch of fun, and this is what this tournament is. It's something that is not on like the semi-pro level of War Thunder. It's a bit of fun, but it's also competitive. This is what the tournaments are supposed to be, and it's nice to see that's what's happening. You know, there's competition here, there's prizes here, there's a little bit of fun at the same time, and that's exactly what you need. You're rooting for MILF Lover 99? I tell you what, so do I. Some people gotta love him, and he does, which is always nice. Let's see. That's Legend. Legend is... Legend will be up very soon. Legend is a character, I think is the best way of putting it. He is a great jokes master, may I say. Very nice to watch his and listen to his stuff. It looks like we're going into the battle though, between Rocker and Ace in Vader. Let's see what goes on. So we're waiting for them to spawn. Rocker was kind enough to be able to help us with the setup for this tournament, so thank you very much for that. Ace is known around these parts as, well, guess what? An ace. Hipster Snowman, saying this is the Special Olympics. I mean, you're not too far off. You gotta have a bit of fun, though. Fuck's sake. Okay, well, there you go. Enjoy the chat. We're already having dominance asserted through the use of toilets and flagellants. Rocker going for the standard camouflage. Ace. Oh no, sorry, this is Ace. Rocker is gone for some wonderful decals. Look at that. He's fully blue. And he's also got some on the prop head as well. This is what we want to see, some customization, some zing in them. Ace has decided to go low. Oh, is he pulling up? I can't really tell. Rocker is just going to try and follow him, which isn't a terrible idea. It's actually a pretty good idea. Keeping the altitude instead of keeping the speed. Remember, this is more about the idea of energy advantage instead of what altitude or what speed they're at. It's a combination of the both, and Rocker has set himself in a position where he has neither. Ace has turned on him with extreme prejudice, and it looks like he is unfortunately going to be taken out by the wonderful Ace. But Ace has to hit his shots. So far he's missed them. This means that Rocker has an opportunity to fight back. The Oive clan might be hoping for Rocker to do something, but unfortunately he's lost his flaps, he's lost his tail, he's lost everything. The fire rises, Rocker, with Ace annihilating him. Why did Ace J out, you twat? Don't do that. Because if he J's out, then it doesn't count on the bloody gladiators thing. God damn it. Anyway, we're back. So, it looks like Rocker, while he has spawned in, he crashed into the water and gets a wonderful spray of water everywhere, which is lovely to see. Ace, on the other hand, I don't think will. Nope, Ace is just by himself, and therefore we'll just enjoy the water spinning around Rocker. Let's actually see what Rocker is seeing. Default view, it looks like he's going down, trying to gain some speed. Maybe he's trying a different tag this time, trying to get some speed instead of altitude. You never know with these cunning boys from the TEC server. We've already seen some interesting tricks, some interesting tribulations. Some of them have worked, some of them of course haven't. And now it's time for Ace Invader to see what Rocker is made of. And so far, Rocker is overshot, unfortunately. Or at least he will have overshot. There's still the parachutes in the background going down. And as you can see, Ace is behind him. Rocker can maybe turn on him, but it's going to be rough. Oh dear. Somehow Ace hit him there. I have no idea how, but I feel like that was just Rocker crashing. I think Rocker was already going into the ground, but Ace is able to finish it off. Hey, just a guy. Hope you're doing well, man. Rocker versus Nova. That can be the prize for the most fun. It's not a terrible idea. But let's see what happens now. Are we going to play around 3 since Ace J'd out, or are we going to just call it quits here? I think we should play around 3. Ah, yes we are. Wonderful stuff. We get to see Rocker Boy in action against Ace to see who's going to play against Lobster in the next round. I'm sure Ace will want to face Lobster. I'm not sure Lobster will want to face Ace. Maybe Rocker brings it back and annihilates Lobster, but you never know. It's always possible. There is an opportunity for everything. Maybe Ace gets hit by a hurricane. It's always possible. Maybe an earthquake. And then Rocker, maybe he takes some coffee. Or maybe Covefe, or however Trump said it. Moving forward, looks like Rocker is really trying something new. I'm not, I'm not sure about this tactic. It may be an idea though. He's going to the right hand side. Also diving, gaining some energy, which is a pretty good idea in this sense. He's turning back in though, looking at Ace, seeing what he can do, trying to maybe... Sometimes, if you're in a weak position, it is always a good idea to throw in a curveball, and that seems to be what Rocker is trying to do here. It's not a terrible idea, because he's in a better position now than he was with the other 2 times that this happened, so therefore Ace is rolling around. Can Rocker hit him? Oh! Oh, has he got a hit? If he's got a hit, this may be curtains. Oh, no. I don't... Oh, he was able to hit his elevator, and that's it. So nothing crazy. And where is Ace? Ace is right on the back of Rocker now, after Rocker overshoots. And now we have an issue. Oil is going everywhere. Fuselage, fuel is going everywhere. Oil is hit, and also tail is hit. We've hit the deck, 50 meters and counting. Ace is behind Rocker, using stealth belts. And let's see. The only chance Rocker has is if he can get Ace to overshoot here. So he's going to have to try and cut engine and make him overshoot. But that's incredibly hard to do. Let's see what's going up. Ace. Oh, no, he's knocked his prop. He's knocked his prop on a tree. Oh, dear. Rocker was not critted by Ace. He was critted by a tree. I've got to say, after all the crashes from earlier, and and all of the fights, this has been the most entertaining. Thank you, Rocker. How did you hit a tree? Holy hell. But yes, unfortunately, it is too late to sign up for this one, but understand that we run one every month, and you will be able to sign up for the next one. So, that was a interesting and entertaining battle we had there. I don't think I've ever seen anything as fun as that. And now we get on to the next round. And the next round being Nits versus iMac. Now, I'm not sure if Nits is here, so we may have to change up some stuff here to see what's going on. And see who is going to play against iMac. Hopefully Nits turns up. If he doesn't, then we'll have to change him out. It is unfortunately how it is. Well played, Rocker. Well played, Ace. A thoroughly enjoyable match by every standard. And that means that Ace is through to the next round, the quarterfinals, against the main man, Lobster Man. And then next, we have the other side of the bracket, I suppose you'd call it, which is Nits, iMac, Lonurad, Legend, Pilot, Vescalar, Meme Goes Here, and Punchy. I'm just going to make sure to see what is going on, and we can go from... So after finding out what's going on, we have an interesting thing that's going on. So Nits unfortunately couldn't make it, which is sad. The Canadian Kermit is unfortunately not here. So instead we have another member of the moderation team which has stood up. Matrix himself, the man who is also streaming, is going to be facing a well-known member of the community, EMAC, or iMac, however you want to say it. And if you didn't know, as I said, Matrix is streaming right now, so this is a bit of fun. If Matrix gets through, I'll be incredibly impressed. He is a good pilot. He is mainly, though, an arcade player. So it is slightly different and realistic, but as we've seen in the past, we've seen We've seen arcade players annihilate good realistic players. I'm looking at you, Orange Doom, and hopefully with this, maybe Matrix can replicate what we saw from that funniest with that funny day. Anyway, what's going on here? Wait, what's going on? People are doing things without letting me know. Alright, here we go. So the battle is set up. I love it how it's the battle being set up, setting up at a point where it's easier for me just to go into the battle instead of set up like a instead of to make a thumbnail and everything. So in this match, as I said before, we have Matrix, another moderator from the Discord, against EMAC, or iMac. I don't really know how you say that. But let's see what goes on. The flair of Matrix, with some interesting Twitch symbols on it. Bloody hell. That's interesting. I've never seen them before. And then, of course, EMAC with his standard BF109F. Matrix is taking the high ground, seeing if he can set himself up to have more energy as he goes past EMAC. It's not a terrible idea. Or iMac, part of the DNM clan. But now iMac is unfortunately on him. Matrix is shooting. I'm not exactly sure who he's shooting. I'm sure he saw some oxygen, which looked a bit dodgy there. But iMac is completely on him right now. Let's see, has Matrix taken any damage? Oh, only a little bit to the left, right wing, so it shouldn't really do much. The BF109F4 is coming around in the form of iMac. Now Matrix is in a worrying position. Let's see what he can do. iMac is just setting up to try and stay on the back of Matrix. Basically what Matrix has to do is hope that iMac misses, make him overshoot and hit him. But it looks like he's sustained more damage now, and more damage. The BF109 is actually holding up better than a few of the others that we saw before. I'm guessing that's because only the 792s are hitting. Good night, goodbye Matrix. That is 1-0 to iMac. And hopefully that won't be too bad. So that's the 1-0 to EMAC, or iMac. He's done really well for himself here, facing, of course, the wonderful Matrix. But yeah, if you want to take part in these tournaments, of course, we are going to be running one every month. So this is the one for this month. We thought a 1v1 would be interesting after doing the 4v4. Maybe next time we'll have 2v2, 3v3, and then maybe at some point even a bloody 8v8. How weird would that be? But anyway, we're back into the match. Matrix versus iMac. Now, can Matrix maybe try something different? Maybe he needs to get a bit more speed. Maybe he needs a little bit more altitude. Or maybe hitting that first shot could give him a good position. He's turned, which is interesting. Very unconventional, but definitely something which may actually work in his favor. Oh, flap's gone. But what he can do in this situation is try and set himself up in a way that he's on the back of iMac. Because generally what happens is the two players will go up and then work out from there. In this position of the horizontal, you can catch out the player who's decided to go more elevator than aileron. And that's what we saw with Lobster and Nova, and this is what we're seeing with Matrix and iMac. But iMac is turning it around with really good energy control and also great flap control. You can see that slowly but surely hopefully iMac is actually gaining on him. But at the same time, he is at a lower altitude than Matrix, which means that he has a little bit less flexibility. One of the inner flaps of the BF-109 F4 of Matrix has been ripped off. I don't think iMac has taken any damage. Yes, he might have done, but the distance between them is definitely increasing, and now it's decreasing now that they've both worked out that they're trying some different things. Matrix has cut his engine. In this position, not always the best thing to do, just because it puts you in a situation that he finds himself in where he's set himself up for iMac to kill him. iMac is going to finish him, maybe? As iMac, yes, he has hit him. There we go. So, unfortunately, Matrix has taken one for the team and been annihilated by iMac. And that means that I have to update this. All I have to do is do this. And thank you to Matrix for filling in. That's very kind of him for doing so. Even though it isn't his forte, it is still nice of him to be able to step in at the last minute and be able to fill in for somebody who unfortunately wasn't available. I've now clicked on the wrong image. There we go. Hopefully I can redo it, and it is something I can redo. The next one is Lonurad versus Legend. XOF Legend versus Lonurad is going to be interesting. At least, hopefully, it is interesting. Let's see. Just have to do this. So we have 3 more rounds of the round of 16 before we are done with the round of 16 and on to the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals are shaping up to be fun little events. I just have to make sure that this is done. It is warming up here where I am, so just understand that I am getting a little bit heated. I will have to get a drink after the round of 16, definitely. Right, let's see what's going on. So the next match, as I said, the wonderful Lonurad versus Legend. Transition. There you go. Yes, Legend is a good old MILF lover. Lover of MILFs. He hasn't reached Cougar Town, though. Cougar Town is still out of his breath. He's stuck with loving the MILF. Maybe one day he'll graduate that wonderful university, but today it is not the case. Matrix had a lot of holes in a lot of places, unfortunately. And just to add to the calamity, which is XOF Legend, the MILF lover himself, he's also called Despacito 2 in War Thunder. I told you this man was a comic, a true messiah of the land. For God's sake. Anyway, Lonurad and Despacito are ready. Or at least they seem to be ready. And I'm going to be calling him Legend because, I don't know, at some point I'm going to have some... At least I've got to have some respect for myself. Instead of being like, oh dear, here we go again. Anyway, we are getting into the battle. This is one of the last rounds of 16. There we go. Let's open it up. We have 3 more of the round of 16. Then we get on to the quarterfinals and then the semis. The semis is where the money starts talking. Hopefully people can reach it. I already have my bets on who is, well, let's say, might be ahead, or at least has a chance of winning this. We'll have a look. Lonurad adding some British decals, which is always nice to see. What I personally like to do is put the decals themselves over the crosses, just to show why. Okay, I'm gonna go find
me, Nathan.
I didn't give you anything. I expected you to stop me.
Oh, I failed. I'm sorry. I let Nathan drink too much.
Alright, I'll be back in the room. Oh, I thought you guys would enjoy that. There's always some hitches, going on with everything, but it is how it is. We have a good laugh on the TEC hub. Also, if you are not aware, we are doing a giveaway right now for another game which is based around aircraft, and this game, to all of you, is IL-2 Sturmovik 1946. If you go to the Discord, go to the giveaways channel, you're able to enter there. The time remaining for it is 20 hours, 16 minutes, 46 seconds, so you don't have to rush, but it's there if you want to pick it up. And we're also thinking about setting up some merchandising stuff, but we'll see in the future what that looks like. Right now, the giveaway is for you guys, the tournament is for you guys, and we'll have some more giveaways going forward. And also, of course, the YouTube channel has nearly hit 10,000 subscribers now, meaning that we... Oh my god, they're in battle again and didn't tell me. But yeah, with the channel nearly hitting 10,000, maybe we'll have some other interesting things going on. But anyway, here is Lonurad, and here is the Band of Scrubs Wonder Legend. We should probably rename him on the server, since he's not part of XOF anymore. But yes, you will always be known as Legend, not Despacito 2. I'll make sure that your nickname is forever Legend. Let's see who is able to come out on top. This is a British versus American matchup, Lonurad being from Britain, and of course, Despacito, or Legend, being from America. Both flying the German aircraft. Let's see who comes out on top. It's going to be an interesting one to see. I know that Legend is a very good player once he has his head on, and with Lonurad, it is the same thing as well. There's definitely more concentration coming from him. But here we go. Lonurad is turning in, and it looks like Legend does have the slight edge on him, but it's very, very slight. And now he's cocked up. He has decided to, instead of turn like Lonurad, he's trying to extend. This isn't an awful idea, as long as you're going faster than your opponent. Unfortunately, in this situation, he isn't going fast enough. Now, Lonurad has to hit the deflection shot, and if he's able to hit it, he is! Legend is going to suffer. So that was a weird move, I would say, from Legend. Unfortunately, he is going down. The wingtip is gone, and as you know, you can fly without the wingtip, as he's showing here. But let's just say, in a combat environment, it's not exactly the easiest to do. Here is the crit, though. He's still flying, though. Can he bring it back? If he's able to win this from this position, then we'll have to see. I think Lonurad thought he was dead, or he was just setting up to kill him. Basically, Legend is struggling, I think is the best way of putting it. Wait! Oh! Oh, it was so close. It was so close. Lonurad screwed up. Oh, wait. What's happened? Oh, no, he's in a flat spin. Oh, it was so close. Legend could have done it. He could have done it, but unfortunately, it was not to be. And Lonurad brings out on top. That's 1-0 to the UK. But oh, that was so close. That was so close. If he'd just hit that, that would have easily been the moment of the tournament so far. I think so far, for me, if he'd hit that, that would have been it. But Rocker nailing himself on a tree is definitely one of my favourite moments. But even from there, we've seen some issues with Lonurad's aim, and with Legend, some of his decision making. So hopefully, as we go along, that won't be as much of an issue. Exactly, he almost hit him there. So crazy, so crazy. He could have hit him. Oh, that's so close. I can't believe it. I can't believe how close he was. Absolutely insane. But here we have Lonurad And no legend. Has he just crashed or what? He may have just crashed, like we had before, which may be unfortunate.
Leave the game for some reason.
What's going on?
Yeah. Okay.
He's coming back to the game, he says.
Okay.
Okay. Never.
Right. It seems like Legend had a few issues, and I have no idea why. But what we're going to do is probably do what we did before, where we'll restart it and all that. I think we should restart it from a 1-0 position, though. Just clarifying, because otherwise that could be seen as a bit dodgy. Well, let's see what's going on. Okay, I will open this up. There we go. I'm just making sure on the official decisions on everything.
Dude, that reset's still gonna be 1 win, 1-on-1 already.
Well,
still gonna
1-0?
Yeah, 1-0.
Okay. So it's 1-0 to Lonorad. Let's see if he can finish it off. He might be able to. You never know. If not, Legend is going to have to come back in a big way, setting himself up for the win, with hopefully some kind of acrobatic wonder like we nearly saw last time. If not, Lonorad will go through to the quarterfinals to face... who is he actually going to face? I will have a look after this. Whoever just won last time. Legend has put on the smoke, trying to intimidate, but blue is definitely not an intimidating colour. It's a calming colour. What you need is red. Red is a good intimidator. And here we go. Horizontal turns from both of them with a little bit more elevator than usual. Lonorad is setting up, and it looks like he's using combat flaps slightly more. Now we have the interesting situation. This is all up to Legend. What can Legend do in this scenario? He basically has to keep flicking his combat flaps to try and not lose as much speed as possible, but also turn. From this position, it may look like Legend is in a commanding position, but he's having to use more altitude than Lonorad, meaning that Lonorad eventually will be on top of him. But it looks like Lonorad has gone a little bit too deep there, meaning that it leaves the door open for Legend to be able to get on his back. Let's see what's going on. Right now we're just having a few turning games. The engine on this BF-109 does not sound good at all. I don't know whether that's just a glitch or if he's cut it slightly. He may have cut it slightly to try and set it up so Lonorad would overshoot, but it looks like Lonorad knows his tricks, I think is the best way of putting it. But here we go. Lonorad is, I believe, in a better position than Legend, but Legend has the speed on him, which is good to have. And unfortunately, Legend's speed didn't count for much since Lonorad had the positioning. That is 2-0 to Lonorad. That is him going through to the quarterfinals, facing iMac, who is already in the quarterfinals after beating Matrix. Fortunately, that is Legend out. And now we have the next match, which is definitely going to be seen as one, at least for me, that is going to be interesting. We should be quitting the battle now. Or at least you'd hope so. Because otherwise this makes absolutely no sense. Unless they just want to play it out, see who wins this one. And you know what? I don't I don't really mind if they do or not. They can kind of do what they want, see what they feel. And it looks like, nope, they're just going to J out and have a good handshake and just have a nice agreement and say, yep, we're done here. But now we have, as I said, a match which has been hyped up. Pilot has been practicing a lot, or at least trying to. And after what I saw in the warm-up with Vescalar, well, may have a few issues for Pilot. Pilot may have a few issues for him, who knows. Anything is possible in this format. We've seen some what I would class as upsets. We've also seen some ones which have been pretty, pretty good at the same time. And also interesting, I think is the best way of putting it. So let's just make sure we are all set up for this. Yeah, this is all done. Okay. Sometimes I just have to make sure everything is sorted, because otherwise stuff can go wrong very quickly. Okay. So the two people are set up. Vescalar from the squadron of Tutti. Pilot 784 Cubed from Mira. Pilot is another very active member of the server. Always nice to see him come around, enjoy the streams, enjoy the chat. It's always good to have. It's always nice having an active community, which is what we have on Discord. And here we go. This is the second to last semi-final. Semi-final? Round of 16, I apologize. And it is between Pilot 784 Cubed and, of course, Vescalar. The last match is Meme Goes Here versus the wonderful Punchy. So we'll see how that goes as well. Pilot is a level 1. Now that is some top tier trash talk. Pilot is nowhere to be found. Oh dear. Well, hopefully he's in the match. It says he's in the match. I have heard of Tutti before. I have not heard of Mira. It might just be me being a bit silly. So, this is Pilot 784 Cubed. It looks like he's used some decals to give himself a wonderful paint job on the wing and also on the elevator back there. Vescalar using something that can only be described as an abomination, but an abomination that shows class. As you can see from his skin, he is a Gladiators tournament winner. So, as always, good luck. Diving down is Vescalar, trying to gain as much speed as possible. Pilot is doing the same thing and he's put on smoke for intimidation. He's got the right colour this time, which is great. Red is much, much better than blue. 660 kilometers an hour is when they pass, going straight into a horizontal turn. And as you can see, Vescalar is using that elevator to make sure that his pilot doesn't die from G-tolerance overload. Pilot is going past him. It's a very good canter. And ooh, that is a beautiful decal on the bottom here from Vescalar. And it looks like Pilot has the slight jump on Vescalar here. If Vescalar... basically what Vescalar has to do is try and cut speed and get on the back of Pilot. Pilot is going to have an opportunity to shoot him in about 2 turns here, unless he overshoots, which he may do pretty soon, because it seems like Vescalar knows how to maintain his energy in a big way. And now he's done the rope-a-dope. He has to just wait for Pilot to seize up here, and then Vescalar can go around. But it looks like he gets the hit. Pilot is taking him out. That's 1-0 to Pilot. All he had to do was hit that shot. As I said, 2 turns, and he will have had a shot, and he got it. If he didn't take the shot, he would have definitely been Yeah, well, he would have definitely been in front of Vescola, and Vescola would have annihilated him. But luckily, what has happened instead for Pilot is Pilot has taken him out. Always nice to see. Right, what is going on here? Mills is asking for me to look at his decals next round. Sure, I'm kind of worried. So will Pilot with the Red Devil decals be able to take on and kill Vescola for a second time, or will Vescola come back from the Tutsi Squadron and take out Pilot? It's going to be, as I've said many times, interesting to see what happens. It looks like these two met, or when we look at the two skills of the two people, there's definitely a difference in skill between these guys and some of the lads we saw before with their movements, even with their pilot skills. Let's see if 784 Cubed can wrap up the 2-0, or Vescola can bring it back to a 1-1. Vescola goes past. Pilot Cubed is also going past. I heard a snap there. That could have been a combat flap. Nobody really knows, or I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. They're crossing each other. Pilot has the slight edge right now. It's a very, very slight edge, though. Nothing really else. Vescola is still going into the turn. Nobody has decided to turn the other way. Probably a good idea. Watch out for that. There's a pole there, and he's hit him. Has Pilot hit Vescola? This could be the epitome. It looks like it's slightly hit him. His damage model is up. Ah, yes, he's hit him right here on this. That's not really going to do a lot. But Vescola is in a position where I wouldn't say it's commanding against Pilot, because Pilot, all he has to do here is gain some energy, wait for Vescola, and then nail him like he did before. But has Vescola just got enough speed? He just needs a little bit, and he does. He does have that little bit of speed that he requires. Using landing flaps, he's trying to get back on the end of Pilot's 784 Cubed here. But it looks like Pilot knows what he's doing, and good night, Vescola. Going against the run of play, in my opinion, Pilot has annihilated what I saw as one of the favorites of the competition. And that means that Pilot goes through to the quarterfinals in our last bracket, I suppose you'd call it. There we go. So Pilot is through against Vescola. Surprising, to say the least. He did go very fast. Sometimes it isn't correct to go too fast. Sometimes you have to find the median speed instead of, you know, just going balls to the wall. The last matchup that we have is Meme Goes Here versus Punchy. Well done, Pilot, for getting through that. Very impressed. And Meme Goes Here is a lad who, once again, is very vocal on the server. Very nice to have him around. And Punchy is another lad who filled in within the last few days. Very, very nice to see, and very, very thank you to him to make sure that this tournament is possible. Okay. So what I'm going to do after this match is make sure that I have a break, because my voice is dying and we're only about halfway through. So I will take a break, make sure that my voice doesn't die, and that, you know, we can get the rest of it done. Well done, Pilot. Thunderpants, can you join the tournament? You can join the next one, which will be the next one will be next month. Still undecided what it's going to be, but the best thing to do is to join the Discord and find out, you know, what's going on through the news and announcements when we make the announcement for it. If you need a backup last minute, I'm up for it. Okay, just the guy. So far, we seem to be doing well, though. We've got through the first 16 with only a few hitches. And the first part is always the hardest to get through. Once the first part is done, generally people want to stick around because they actually want to win stuff instead of disappearing, unless they're forced to. Right, let's see. Mod communication. Okay. After the Coco from last round, or the round before, Nathan is making sure that they are on different teams. Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, next month I think we're probably gonna do a ground forces tournament, but you know, it really depends on what the team wants to do. It isn't all up to me, remember. This is not a one-man army, and I don't think it should ever be a one-man army. That is how stress goes to your head and all that wonderful stuff. But anyway, as we go on, we have our last of our round of 16 before we enter the quarterfinals. So let's see what these two wonderful magicians can give us. Can they give us something which is paramount to an amazing and interesting time? Or will it be a stomp? We'll have to see. Punchy, 21. Over here in the left corner. Running a nice BF109 skin. Looks like the standard one. Has some decals on it. Can't tell what the decals are yet, so we'll have to see. And of course we have Meme Goes here, running the white camouflage. It seems like a lot of people favour this one. I don't really know why, but there is a little bit of flat with some decals on it. Always nice to see. So Punchy, let's see those decals. Ah, it's the big titted woman. Fair enough. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It was a Christmas decal back in the day. But let's follow Punchy and see what happens. Smoke is on from both sides. It looks like anger is part of this. Maybe a bit of a rivalry. Oh, smoke is off though. It looks like they've decided to turn it off. Punchy turning to the left. So as Meme Goes here. Looks like Meme has quite the turn on Punchy though. That is not a good start. Oh, he's fired. The guns are working. Always nice to check. Here we go. Oh my, he's actually close. I'm very surprised by that. But then again, Meme Goes here was incredibly quick on that first turn, meaning that on the second turn, it'll be a little bit later. Punchy is going into a horizontal, where Meme has gone more into a vertical, and unfortunately that means that he has speed coming out of that, and Punchy's wing is gone. Now, can Punchy recover like Legend did? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. Can he keep it in the air? Oh, it's not looking good for good old Punchy now. The man with the 4 titted goddesses is unfortunately down. Maybe next time. In the next round, he'll be able to take on Meme Goes here. If not, Meme will be our last quarter-finalist. And as I said, I will take a 5-minute break before we start the quarterfinals. So if you guys need a drink or need a snack or anything, that is probably the time to do it. I'll leave some music on for you so you can enjoy it. And let's see. So Meme Goes here, as I said, sporting the more winter camouflage. It was a good kill, very good kill. Basically took himself into the vertical while Punchy was in the horizontal, gained energy from it, was able to come back down on him like a ton of bricks. Let's see if Class or R-Tips, the two squadrons, can have a bit of bragging rights out of this competition. And what we'll do is we'll follow the cam of Meme Goes here this time, just see what's going on, see what his kind of thought process is doing this stuff. He's going straight into Punchy 21. Looks like he's keeping level with him. Maybe he's just trying to match him because he knows that he can He knows that he can beat him mechanically. Who knows? Sometimes in old games, RTSs, that's what some players used to do. They used to just copy what their opponent was doing because they knew in these small micro sensors they were able to be overpowered and take them. It looks like we have a very similar situation to last time. Meme Ghost here is gaining a lot more speed going into and the vertical. But Punchy was able to get some hits. Punchy needed to hit that though. And now Meme Ghost here is on him. What a shot! Holy hell. Good night. That was a hell of a shot. A good shot from Meme Ghost here. Finishing off with a 2-0. I am incredibly impressed with that. Wow. That's lovely to see. Why have Euros invaded the stream? I don't know. So that is the last of the round of 16. That was incredibly surprising to happen. But anyway, I'm just going to update this. Make sure Meme Ghost here, winning with a classic 2-0 victory. And what I'm going to do is that. Actually, I'm not sure I can do that. No, I can't. Well, anyway, yeah. I need to set up thumbnails for the next round. And also, I need to be able to just relax for a second. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as I said, take a 5-minute break, and then I'll be back.